Into the UK charts on Sunday at number 25. This Candy Pop from Biss, and Biss are here. And is it Biss or is it Biz?
It's Biss.
Bize.
Yeah, no.
I think you'll find in the dictionary.
Yeah, it's Biss with a soft S.
Okay, so Biss or Biz or Bice are in the studio with us, and it's Sci-Fi Stephen, John Disco and Mandarin with us, and amazing that you were on Top of the Pops as an unsigned band. Wasn't it a bit freaky? Because that was your ambition, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's one of our kind of like main aims, and Biss was to be on Top of the Pops at some point, and slightly earlier than we imagined.
So when you're young, you think, to be on Top of the Pops, you have to have a really big car. No, a really big record contract kind of thing, and it's like, no, I mean, you can just do it like this. And
So were you early teenage pop kids?
Yeah, I think pre-teen and pop kids, I think, as well, really.
I went through a bad phase, like, in the middle, I was pretty cool when I was dead young, but then it was really sour for a bit. 12, I started listening to dodgy metal. I mean, a lot of people do it, and I'll freely admit that.
It's the evening session, and we are talking to the hottest unsigned band in the UK. And there are about 78 labels chasing you at the moment.
Allegedly, yeah. It's quite a weird position to be in, because most bands just sign, like, the first sort of semi-decent deal they get. We've held off for so long, and now, like, we've had a hit on our own, and it's just, like, kind of showing all the major labels that we don't actually need them to have hit singles, and it's not the money we're interested in, it's the kind of the control over things like artwork and what songs are singles and what goes on albums and everything, all the fine details.
Okay, for some of our listeners that might not know the history of Biss, do you want to just tell us how long you've been together and how it all started?
John and Stephen had been writing songs since they were about 10 and used to play at school, and I was like, oh. I went up, their only fan, went along to see, and then soon joined afterwards and did our first gig with Urusai Sura, who've taken off as well, about 2 years ago this summer.
So what was the sort of music that brought you together?
At that time, it was the kind of Manchester scene at that time, but we weren't totally into it. It was just that kind of time.
Do you think it's a really good time, though, in Glasgow at the moment for creativity? Because that's how it appears from down
I
here.
haven't been there for a month.
That's really
I
exciting.
think in general, I think.
Yeah, I know.
Seeing all these bands who started around about the same time as us taking off and getting their first records out and stuff is really exciting, because in Glasgow the best thing is the support of other bands is amazing. You don't get any competition in Glasgow. Everyone is so friendly, and if you ever played at the 13th Note in Glasgow, the place where everyone usually starts, everyone would come to see you.
Because all the bands in Glasgow are like so different from each other anyway, so it's like there's not really competition, because they
You're
just want to see each
seriously
other.
telling me that bands in Glasgow actually go around and they slap each other on the back each night and they go, well done, congratulations, you're on Top of the Pops, well done.
Well, yeah, I mean, we will get like some people that kind of think they're our biggest fans and have followed us since the very start. Will be like, they've sold out, and other bands will be pleased for us, because I know we would be pleased for other Glasgow bands if they got on Top of the Pops and had hit singles and whatnot.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll play another track from the EP and then we'll talk very quickly afterwards. Any track from the EP that you want to play?
I think
Teensy Power.
Teensy Power, I think, yeah.
It is Teensy Power. You can explain Teensy Power after this. On the evening session, this is Biss. It's Biss and it is Teensy Power. And Teensy Power then, a revolutionary movement for the 1990s. Tell us.
Teensy Power in particular is our tacky theme tune of what kind of revolutions we want to start, and it's not like we're trying to like get kids to pick up guns and shoot people. I think it's more of a kind of personal revolution, because what we talk about as what is the Teensy tip is what we talk about is just like a kind of feeling of being young and enthusiastic, and it doesn't matter what physical age you are, you should always feel like a teenager. And
I presume that even though you're doing quite a lot of gigs and you've got a record in the chart at the moment, you're probably not that well off, are you?
No, well, we don't have like a big label behind us, so we don't really have much of a wage, but we're not really at home that much to like need to spend it. We just keep buying records on our travels and nowhere to play them.
Yeah, it's like all our amps are about a quarter of the size of everyone else's, and they're like mounted on crates still, but we can just afford to live.
Yeah, we all still live at home with our parents just now. You're not supposed to do that if you're on Top of the Pops. It's not very cool, but it's not much point in us moving out because we're hardly at home anyway.
Drive a Talbot Samba.
Yeah, up until about like 3 months ago, I drove to all the gigs. We bought a van, but it's not exactly like super luxurious, not a double decker with like bunk beds or anything.
It's a van.
Yeah, it is a proper van.
You've toured with Super Furry Animals.
Yeah.
And you've been touring with Garbage as well. And you got a tour with Ash, or some dates with Ash. coming
Yeah,
up.
just some dates, yeah.
What's it like being the warm-up band?
The tour with Super Furry Animals was great because most nights it was just the two bands. You had time for a full sound check. We both get treated equally. Playing at somewhere like Brixton Academy where it's 5,000 people and you're third in the bill, you get about a 20-minute sound check and
Go
you
on
get no
before the doors
respect and no guest list.
Do you think, though, that there are going to be numerous bands in the UK who are obviously looking at you thinking, oh, they've had it easy. They're all really jealous now. Of,
But yeah, I mean, it's like most people, I presume, will think that this single is our first single. This is our fourth single. We haven't been put together by somebody, which some people will think.
We've just tried our best, really. We've not appeared from nowhere and we've always been great fans of music, so...
You've had tremendous support from this sort of rising new wave of UK fanzines as well.
That's what really did get us here. In fact, the first gig we ever did in London was put on by two fanzines, Abuse and All About Dean Friends. I'd never actually met Dee from All About Dean Friends before, and she decided just to fork out the money and put us on, and it probably is what got us here today. It's a big thank you to them, and we'll always respect them for it.
Yeah, so we come from a background of writing fanzines ourselves, so we'll always prioritise fanzines who want interviews and stuff because we've been there and we've had to do it ourselves. So
You've done Top of the Pops now. And what do you do after that? Are you going to record another single?
Yeah,
And,
we're recording a single next weekend actually, which should be out within like a month and a half, couple of months.
is there something that you really want to achieve next?
I don't know, it's just keep the excitement going just now. I don't want to hate it all.
Yeah, front page of smash hits. That'll do.
Front page of smash hits. It's Bess on the evening session. Thanks very much for coming
Cheers.
in.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. So, Sci-Fi Stephen and John Disco, who are the Biss brothers. How do you get on as brothers?
Oh.
Yeah, we love each other dearly and there's no problems. Bye. No.
Bye.
Not since we were about 10. We stopped fighting when we were 10.
Has there ever been any rivalry between you?
I don't think so. I think the only possible thing there could be between us is the fact that John can play instruments and I can't, but I don't want to anyway, so...
I mean, we're kind of like only 2 years apart, you know. I mean, if one of us was like much older and much more experienced or whatever, it'd be like, oh, look at him.
Has it always been this way? Because 2 years when you're younger is a bit more of a gap.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's because our mum and dad just put us in the same room and made us listen to the same records, so we had to like get on. I broke your arm. I remember breaking John's arm when you were 2.
Cheers, man.
That was quite fun.
Still see the scars.
Yeah, he's still got it. But that was an accident.
I think I took a chip out your head with a putter.
Nothing particular.
Nothing intentional, you know.
So how would you describe each other?
Stephen's kind of very opinionated in things, and more so than me, because I'm just like, I don't give a about a lot of things.
That's probably good, because if we were both really sort of opinionated, then we probably would fight a lot. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like I can shout opinions at him, and he takes it because he just wants to get to his guitar. And
No, shut up. I'll throw it at you, mate. Our kid.
So the two of you ending up in a band, I suppose if you had a similar sort of interest in music and
Yeah.
everything, that was okay. But did you have any worries at all about when you were in a group?
I don't think so. I think it's because it's like me and John started writing songs like together when we were like 9 and 10 and like really, really young at home, just because Mum would buy us like some cheap instruments and stuff, because our mum's a music teacher as well, so that probably like helped as well.
I never remember ever wanting to do anything else, like.
Yeah.
And same with Stephen, you know, it's just, we've done it now. No going back.
What do you think about the Gallagher brothers relationship? You don't have one of those. You don't slap each other around the head if they're getting out of order or something.
Not yet, no. I mean,
I think their kind of thing's been a bit exaggerated in a lot of cases. I mean, we might get it soon, I don't know. You know. They argued over who got the chips or something.
Why do you think there are so many brothers or sisters in bands?
Because it's really easy to kind of get it started, you know. Instead of having jobs and you have to take time off and stuff to do rehearsals, it's like we've been together all the time. And
it provides a bit more stability in a band, I think. You know, even if they do argue, they're not going to split up because they're brothers, I think, yeah.
What would actually split you up then?
Big knife.
Yeah, if you got a Stereolab single I couldn't get or something, that would probably do.
Oh
it.
yes.
Yeah, well, I got it. It's all right.
All right.
It would come down to records, I think, really, more than anything else.
All right, well, obviously not everybody gets on as well as those two. And if you're getting an awful lot of hassle at home and it's driving you completely mad, you can call the Agony line on 0800 110 100. That's the Agony line, 0800 110 100. It's free, confidential, open all night. And this is Stereolab for Biss.